Hello and welcome back to the channel. So here's my new backdrop. Many of you have seen the short clip on that. And today, as promised in the Handspring Visor video, which if you've not watched, you should, we're going to look at replacing the battery in the Handspring Visor Edge. We're using a solderless technique. It's very straightforward to do, and this same technique can be used on a lot of other devices where either the battery is soldered via cables onto the board or has a connector that you can't get a replacement for. Given that the Handspring Visor Edge is now 20 years old, it's very unlikely you'll find a unit with an original battery that does still work. And unfortunately, there's no direct replacement, unlike with the Palm M500 or the Palm 5, where hopping on eBay and you can find a direct replacement with the right connectors and BMS all included. Before we get started, a shout out to all the supers from the last video. Curti Unlisted, Von Rummelsdorf, Richard's Random Retro Reviews, Balder65, Love B by J, and The Monocular, also known as David Shell. Huge thanks to you all for supporting the channel. Those donations are greatly appreciated and they will encourage me to make more videos. We also have 2 new channel members, so if you could pop a comment below to welcome Kevin B and Sammy, that would be amazing. So first things first, before I could actually replace the battery in this, I needed to know what it was like and take some measurements. So let's open it up. So here is the blue Handspring Visor, a very slim PDA from back in the day. Now, I've got a little bit of a scratch on the back of this one, but otherwise it's in very good condition, apart from a non-functioning battery, which is often going to be the case. Having been online and had a look, I cannot find a battery that lists it as being the same. I did find a teardown and it looks surprisingly similar to a Palm 5 battery. So my aim is to take this to bits and see what kind of battery it uses. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the stylus and then remove the top cover. This of course is how you would put the expansion card on, so the expansion jacket goes on there for the memory card, etc, etc, but we're interested in taking off this back plate. Six screws later and the back just lifts off, and there is our battery pack. As I say, this looks very suspiciously like the one that we have on the Palm 5. So much like we did with the Palm 5, I'm not going to try and pry the battery off the screen. Instead, I'm going to cut the plastic coating that sits on it. There we go. And you can just see, just there, that's the connector for it. So I'm just going to pull the connector gently. That's the battery removed, and we didn't need to disassemble the rest of it. And of course, this will now just peel off. I might actually use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol just to soften that up, actually. Okay, I'll be honest, having it there isn't an issue, so I think I might be better leaving it in place rather than attempting to tear it off, and simply cut out the bits that aren't stuck down. That'll do nicely. So, this looks very suspiciously like the one from a Palm 5. Just give me a moment, I'll be back with one of those. So here we go. You might recognize this from such videos as replacing the battery in a Palm 5. They look identical. And they appear to use the same connector, no, slightly different connectors. Okay. And is the BMS under here? Yeah, so there's the BMS, that's fine. So what I need is a Palm 5 battery with a different connector to it. Right, let's get one of those ordered, and then we'll see about putting a new battery in here. So before we go looking at getting a replacement battery, first of all, a warning. This is for guidance only. Lithium-ion batteries, even when they appear to be dead, can be potentially dangerous. So you should not do this unless you feel capable, and I accept no responsibility for damage to yourself, your possessions, your palm top, your wallet, or anything else. To be clear, this video is purely for entertainment purposes. So with that out of the way, we need to measure the battery. So now I've looked at both batteries and measured it, I can tell you for sure that it is exactly the same size as the battery in the Palm 5. Unfortunately, as I already mentioned, it does have a slightly different connector. Looking on eBay, a replacement Palm 5 battery which has the wrong connector is about £14. It depends on exactly who you buy it from. However, hopping on AliExpress and with the measurements that I've already taken, I decided I would simply try and buy a pouch battery. The first thing you're going to need to do if you're looking at pouch cells is make sure it's the same chemistry. You do not want to be putting a lithium polymer battery in a lithium-ion battery charging circuit. So from what I've measured, the battery itself is 6.9 by 22.8 by 46.8. So I need a battery slightly smaller than that. Most of the batteries I looked at had the BMS built in, so I don't need to salvage the one from the battery I've removed. This is very handy and obviously saves some tricky soldering, which is the whole point of this video. I managed to get this replacement battery, if it'll ever come out of the packet. So this is 600 milliamps, which is very similar to the original. It's slightly smaller, so it should fit, which it does. Obviously there's no connector on this, so I'm going to need to solder this connector on, or actually we're going to do it without solder today. So rather than using a soldering iron, I'm actually going to use some heat shrink wrap, and hopefully that'll allow me to wind the two wires together and then create a nice stable connection without the need for a soldering iron. So let's strip these wires and give it a go. Be careful when clipping these wires that you don't clip them at the same time and short the battery, and that is important. This is still a lithium-ion battery and has the potential to explode. I've also left a little bit of length just in case I decide I do want to reuse that BMS at some point. The connectors should be the same, so it should be red to red. There we go. Do the same on here, but what we're going to do is just one at once to prevent it being shorted. Once we've done that, we need a little bit of heat shrink tubing. We're going to slide that over. What do you see? Now we can simply wind these two together. Fold it over. Straighten it up. Slide the tubing back over. Like so. And then we just need to apply a little bit of heat. And that's it. Let's do the other side. It's like, you know. Up close and high. Yep. And now the tubing's over, so we just heat it up and that'll stop it moving. Let that cool a second. And we should be done. So all we need to do is plug this into the unit and see if it works. Okay, that was slightly fiddlier than I anticipated, but we have life. So this looks good. Let's pop the battery in nice and neat. We'll add a little bit of double-sided tape, and then we'll see about screwing it all back together. So as you know, I've been waiting a while for the batteries to come, but I had left all the screws attached to this magnet, so I didn't lose them. I recommend you do something similar. I also ordered a second battery. Now this of course makes sense since I have 2 units, but I chose a completely different battery altogether. This one only has 350 milliamp hours as its rating, although I'm expecting that still to give us 6 or 8 hours use, so still a usable amount. And I picked it because it looks to have a very, very similar connector. You'll notice I said it looked to have. Yeah. Well, that didn't work, but it doesn't matter. I still bought it anyway. So, with a new battery in both of these units, it's time to test the battery life on them. I'm going to do this using what I have used in the past as a standard measure, which is to set them up with an e-reader. I use Read Them All. It works very well. Unlike most readers, instead of scrolling up, it scrolls a line down at a time. You'll see what I mean as I'm going to set it going now. So, with my batteries in place, I'm expecting this one, with its 350 milliamp hour battery, to manage around 7 hours. We might push it to 8, something like that, because my Palm 5, when I replaced that battery, did about 16. This one, 600 milliamp hours, I'm expecting to be similar to the Palm 5, so again about 16 hours. So imagine my surprise when the GoPro decided to stop recording at 19 hours and 7 minutes. And not just this one was still going, but both were still going. This is bonkers. Sadly, with the memory card full, the GoPro had to shut down as it had filled 250 gigs of footage. Needless to say, I'm not going to sit through all of that. Thankfully, the e-reader I use tells you how long the book is and how long you've got left reading it, as it does a line at a time. So the results are in, and the blue one with its 600 milliamp hour battery achieved a whopping 19 hours and 48 minutes, as it had exactly 2 hours left to go. Meanwhile, the silver one, which should in theory have a 350 milliamp hour battery, managed a whopping 19 hours and 7 minutes. Now maybe it's just me, but I simply don't believe the figures on those batteries. Either way though, we can all agree that is excellent battery life, and even if it was an actual 350 milliamp hour battery, we probably still would have got nearly 10 hours. So as always with lithium ion batteries, it's kind of difficult to judge exactly what the capacity is going to be by what's written on them. So as you can see, changing the battery in one of these is super easy, and there's a lot of options, and in fact there was quite a bit of space left over, so you could probably have put an even bigger battery in here. Certainly it's been significantly easier than when I did it on the Palm 5, and I'll pop a link to that video below. A number of old Palm Tops on eBay are listed as untested, and often they're only untested because the battery itself no longer holds a charge. This means that you can snap up a real bargain. I got this one boxed for about £25, and I got this one for about 15 without a box, but I really wanted it in blue. I hope this video has given you the confidence that you too could change the battery in one of these and turn that e-waste into a usable device. If you've had success doing this in the past, pop a comment below, or if there's a specific battery replacement you'd like to see, pop a comment. I'll always have a look at that. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and pop a comment. It drives the algorithm, and then more people will be able to find these videos. A huge thank you goes to you, the viewers, the subscribers, the commenters, and of course a huge thanks goes to all the supers and the members who directly support the channel. My name's Hugh, this is Handheld Computing, thanks for watching.
you.